Hey, so welcome to the video, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the Deepcool 240EX Castle. This is a new all-in-one cooler that's recently been released and been getting a lot of good press from different YouTubers out there, specifically the anti-leak technology. So we're going to be diving in and checking out how this works on an overclocked Ryzen CPU and how well it actually keeps the case cool and performs under multiple different stress tests. So let's jump right into it. I spent a couple of hours putting this awesome video together, this awesome intro that did a couple different benchmarks from my current setup all the way to installing this guy and doing some initial bench tests on it. And I'll be honest, the audio was pretty rough. After reading the manual and somebody mentioned in the comments below. So I decided to go ahead and trash that video, that audio, and kind of go over what happened throughout that process. So many of you guys have probably seen the NZXT Kraken M22 video that I did earlier this year. I tested it out, I did some overclocking on the Ryzen, and it turned out really well. It actually was very stable for me. And really the only reason I'm trying this out is because I am prepping. I'm getting ready to purchase either a Ryzen 7 3800X or a 3900X, the Ryzen 9. So I wanted to test out a 240 millimeter. And as always, when I do get a new cooler, I like to test its limits. I want to be able to ramp up my CPU, put it in the most extreme conditions, and see if this guy will keep it cool. Here's the problem. 54 degrees. Encroaching on 50, we've hit 55 and rising. Now, that's, oh, look at that. Now we're shutting down. So here's the groundwork. I did get a lot of questions about, hey, will this Kraken M22 work with this CPU? Will it work in this setup? How did you do this? How did you do that? So let me answer those questions for you on this product. This Deepcool product is going to work on pretty much every CPU from Intel and Ryzen and AMD that's been put out over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. It even has compatibility with TR4 sockets for the Threadripper CPUs. So, and it's going to work massively better than the stock cooler that comes on, say, an Intel or a Ryzen, like the Stealth coolers. So if you're looking for a good all-in-one cooler that's at an affordable cost, this could very well be it. If all you have room for in your case is a 120 millimeter, then go check out that Kraken M22 video. And before you watch this video, definitely check that one out because it lays some groundwork for what we're going to be doing here. So what we did was a Cinebench test, a Premiere Pro export, and then we tested 3 games for temperature, FPS, both on the GPU and temperature on the CPU, and that was for Metro Exodus, Borderlands 3, and Fortnite. So we have an initial value from my computer setup before the install, and then we have the benchmark from right after the install. Same hardware, pretty much the same setup, although I did do some tweaks. What we're really looking to test is the baseline from Deepcool, the 240EX Castle, to overclocking and taking that above and beyond and using it in game and in real life scenarios, which is why Cinebench and Premiere Pro are in my lineup for test bench. I'll go ahead and I'll pop in the bit of unboxing that I did. I am going to shorten it down. I do want you guys to check that out. It does give you some details on what comes in the box. It does give you details on some of the compatibility, the fans that come with it, so on and so forth. So check this out real quick, and then we'll dive into the first and second benchmarks. It looks like it's pretty much compatible with any CPU socket made within the last, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years, maybe even further. The fan speed themselves are up to, so from 500 RPMs up to 1800 RPM, plus or minus about 10% it says. So it's RGB, so it's addressable RGB LED. There's a 3-pin connector. Okay, so let's pop this sucker open. Oh, need to flip it this way. Oh, something I didn't mention that I do want to mention now is the anti-leak technology. But it gives you a breakdown here of the anti-leak technology and kind of how that operates, just in case you're concerned. Not that I really cared that much. Probably not the best matchup for NZXT. It does sync up with the Razer Chroma, the Aura Sync, Gigabyte RGB, and MSI Mystic Lighting, as well as the ASRock Polychrome Sync. So you do get your 2 fans. They are white fans, which is nice. Let's check one out. Oh, that's a really nice looking white. Very eggshell white with the black blades. That's gonna go really good actually in my case currently. This is gonna be your hardware. It looks like different mounting brackets. Perfect, it comes with a really nice backplate actually, wow. That's the NZXT backplate was a cheap, very cheap, flimsy plastic. So the next thing is you got your radiator here. And then you have the header. And it does come with a pre-applicated thermal paste, but we'll be using our own. I got the Cryonaut thermal paste. And then it has 2 3-pin connectors. So yeah, let's check this out. Just dropping stuff. Okay, there's our control. This is a little controller, fan speed, and our install guide, our owner's manual. Cool. Okay, well, we've got everything here. Oh my God, so you know how the Castle 240EX, it's got this anti-leak technology. Look, check this out. Anti-leak, and look what's going on. My system is leaking. So I'm just playing. It's not really leaking. Okay, we're gonna jump into some values here on benchmarking for you guys to check it out. So here it goes, here's the values. All right, so here I have some temps for you. As you can see, this is a Kraken M22 in the Castle 240EX, the CPU high, low, and average. Okay, so on the basic Cinebench R20 test, it was quite shocking. We actually had the Kraken M22 at a pretty high degree here, 70, 68, 65, with the Castle beating it out by quite a big margin, sometimes 10 degrees or more. And then we jump over into the Premiere Pro render, and we see the same thing from the Castle 240EX. We see a 10-degree value in just pure gain from the Castle 240EX. Just destroyed the Kraken M22 there. And then of course on the render itself, we gained about 19 seconds on that render versus the Kraken M22. So that lower heat definitely helped us out when it came to the render time. On a longer video, that would be a massive increase for us. On to gaming. With Metro Exodus, we do see that the temps are pretty far apart. So the Kraken M22 is at about 51 degrees on the high end for the CPU. On the Castle 240EX, we're at a 41 degrees Celsius on the high end. Again, a 10-degree difference, pretty big. And then of course we did the GPU, a bit of a variance there, but it allows that GPU not to thermal throttle for us. Okay, so Fortnite, similar value here. I did up the temps here for the Castle 240EX, but not too alarming temperatures. So still a 7-degree benefit here and about 4 degrees on the GPU. And then the last game I tested, Borderlands 3, the Kraken M22 performed closer to the 240EX, but still the 240EX takes the win by 3 degrees on the GPU and 4 degrees on the CPU. That's a pretty solid win in my opinion for the Castle 240EX. So overall, I was really impressed with the 240EX. And even though I struggled a bit with my own overclock, I tried to hit 4.0 on all cores and just couldn't quite make it. In fact, I actually ruined the motherboard that I have because I pushed it a little too far, and I'm gonna have to swap that out. So that could be a bit of foreshadowing for another video yet to come. That being said, there was a ton of information here for us to take in. There was a ton of good marks on the 240EX. It definitely kept the system cooler through the CPU all the way over to the GPU. So my definite hand goes out to Deepcool for putting out this product. It is a solid 240mm at a good rate. So just to compare the price here, you've got $80 for the Kraken M22 and $140 for the Castle 240EX. Now, we did see based on the numbers that there was about a 20% at the high end max increase in performance using the Castle 240EX over the Kraken M22. Is the $50 extra worth it to you? What kind of CPU are you using? That's what's really going to make the difference. If you're just using, say, a Ryzen 5 or an i5 that's not really overclocked at all, well, a 120mm all-in-one cooler is going to be great, something like the Kraken M22. But if you start getting into 8-core CPUs, i7s, i9s, Ryzen 7s, Ryzen 9s, you're definitely going to want a 240mm because it does give you a good boost in performance. And for that, the Deepcool price to performance is a great 240mm option. All in all, this was a great video. It was fun for me. I love making this style of video because I get to get in depth with my computer components, and that's what I like about doing this, is getting in depth, testing a few things out. I do wish I could take it a little bit further, but because of the capabilities of my equipment, I can't really take it to the next level. Maybe in the next video, I'll go ahead and do that with a different motherboard, maybe even a different cooler. These are sometimes my favorite videos to do because coolers affect a lot in the case. They don't just affect the performance of your CPU. Your CPU will then affect the performance of your GPU and RAM and things alike. So to wrap it all up, just want to say I definitely recommend this Deepcool Castle 240EX made by their GamerStorm lineup. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. As always, if you've made it this far in the video, give us a like and definitely subscribe. We want to keep making this content. You guys are the one that allows us to do that. We appreciate the support that you guys have given us so far. It's been phenomenal. I appreciate it very much. And until the next time, I'll see you in the next video.